Media Week.
Hello, welcome to Media Week. Ahead, live TV still rules. We'll bring you the details of the latest OzTam Multiscreen Report, the TV ratings results from the first week of survey for 2014, and we hear from the new Vice President of International Television, Australia and New Zealand for NBC Universal at the launch of Foxtel's rebranded Sci-Fi channel. But first, of course, a huge week this week with Schapelle Corby's release from prison. It's been bad news, though, for 9/7 and even Women's Day, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, absolutely.
Not as good as expected.
No, you would have thought, look, media was all over this story. Just incredible scenes out of Bali on Monday when she got out.
Yeah.
Something like, 40 people on the ground alone just from 7 to 9 covering this story. So it was just massive. Look, Nine had the telly movie on Sunday night. Certainly didn't rate as well as most people have thought. Not much comment out of Nine about it. They moved it from Monday to Sunday. They ended up repeating it again on Monday. Not great big figures, so that was sort of bad news for them. Then all the publicity about Seven, the deal with Michael Willissey.
Yep.
A lot of people thought, look, a deal had been done. As far as we know now, sort of towards the end of the week, still no deal done. Mike Willissey came out and said, look, we haven't done a deal. We've certainly been talking, but we're not there yet.
So where have we got those $2 million figures that have been thrown around?
Well, that's just the expectation of what they're going to get. I think Mercedes Corby came out and said something like, yeah, $2 million won't be nearly enough. And she came out later and said, no, look, it's not about the highest bidder. We feel most comfortable with Channel 7. So there's been a bit of conflicting information.
And they've had conflicts with a couple of the different channels at certain times with various reporters and so on and so forth. Does that play into
yeah,
the
they're certainly offside with Nine at the moment for the Schapelle miniseries. They're not a fan of that at all. Of course, they took Seven to court. Won, I think, a payment of around $3 million for Mercedes. It was either last year or the year before. So they've been in conflict with all the channels. So it's really interesting to see how it played out. Later in the week, of course, Women's Day, and I think the Daily Telegraph got access to a photo. There was some story they'd paid maybe $20,000 for this. Women's Day and the Telly, I think, both put it on their website. They got a legal letter from the Corbys. They subsequently took it down because they just didn't want to get into that hassle. So look, for the media in general, it's been bad news. And of course, the other side is the Indonesian authorities saying to Schapelle, look, if you do this interview, you jeopardise your bail conditions. So it's, both parties have now got sort of good reasons not to do a deal.
And we've also had, Koshi coming out at Seven, obviously criticising the move of Seven. How much does this play into the decision, do you think, from Seven to actually go ahead and do it?
Well, Koshi won't be dictating company policy, but, he got a lot of support within Seven. A lot of colleagues emailed him, said, well done, we support that. And I think Koshi is a good voice of the viewers. He represents what a lot of those viewers are thinking. So Seven will take that into account. Look, they report their first half figures next week, so you can be sure that'll come up in the questions, perhaps to Chief Executive Tim Warner. He might get asked about this, so we'll perhaps get a little bit of clarity about
insight.
it.
There's surely been a huge lot of debate about it, but are advertisers now a bit wary, do you think, to get involved as well?
Well, look, not as much as I think as people assume, It varies between advertisers and their relationship with their agencies. We asked a few people this morning about this. Look, some people said, look, we maintain an active sort of relationship of no-go areas for some of our clients, and they know those things. It'd be things like, tourism, airlines. You're not going to put them into anything to do with Schapelle. But other advertisers are very keen. Just look, get in the best deal and the biggest audiences. They don't really care what the content is. So it's a lot of them aren't as trigger happy as people in the media may expect.
All right, and still sticking with co-host and publisher and editor of Mediaweek, James Manning now. I want to move on to media regulation matters, and the subscription TV industry is heading to Canberra next week to push its case for reform. James, anti-siphoning, obviously top of the agenda.
Yeah, look, we spoke to Andrew Maiden, who's running Astra these days, and he's very confident. He's been speaking a lot to the new Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, and he told us, look, we wouldn't be surprised if there's some action on anti-siphoning this year. Look, we've certainly heard that before, so he's not going to, I think he must be really feeling good about it. I think February 25th, there's a night down in Canberra. Paul Murray will be doing his show down there live for Sky News.
Right.
So it's a big a parliamentary, what are they calling it, a parliamentary reception. They have a lot of talent down there, a lot of channel managers, so they'll be really lobbying to put their cases to members of parliament and their staff.
OK, let's talk about some changing places in media this week, because we've seen former SMH editor Peter Fray joined the Australian.
Yeah, look, that's a really interesting appointment. Peter Fray, long-time editor-in-chief at the Sydney Morning Herald, a big... you know, he went head-to-head with the Australian there. They used to throw sort of hand grenades at each other, if you like, saying, you know, you're no good, no, you're no good, you run too many exclusives, they're not exclusives, all this sort of stuff. But he's, you know, he's gone over there to work with them now. So you can see from his past, you know, experience that when he's on your team, he'll really fight hard for you. So it's got to be a good acquisition for the Australian.
Surely, surely. And also a new chief executive of Hoyts Group.
Yeah, look, Damian Keogh was part of it anyway, running Val Morgan, the cinema advertising business, which is part of Hoyts Group, which is actually owned by private equity these days. So he's been promoted there. I think it's Dan Hill that's going to take over there. So it's a good promotion for him.
All right, and also the new head of Viacom Networks in Australia as well. Yeah,
look... Ben Richardson has been promoted there, taking over from Katrina Southern. Ben's been a good soldier for Viacom over the years. I think he's worked all across Asia, India, China, India, Japan, Indonesia, and I think Korea are four of the places he's run. Replacing Katrina Southern, she's also been, I think 17 years she's been with the company, 6 years running Nickelodeon, which was Ben's most recent role, and she was there when it won Channel of the Year twice. So they're losing some good talent, but they've got a good person in Ben.
And yeah, Ben Richardson considered a good get.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's take a look now at a check on the media sector's performance on the share market this week. We're joined by Evan Lucas from IG now. Evan, good to have your company. Obviously, we've got Nine Entertainment results next week. What are your expectations for that one?
Yeah, expectations have actually been raised for that by a lot of analysts over the last 2 or 3 weeks, particularly with the ratings coming out about the cricket. So expectations are for earnings to come in at $262 million for the full year. Now they're expecting, therefore, that to come in around about $148 million for the half. Net profit also looks pretty solid, roughly around about $75 million. Again, upgraded. This is a company, obviously, that at one point last year was almost struggling to get debt actually removed to it. It was almost touching sort of a bankruptcy situation. So huge turnaround story there. Watching their sales, expectations are for $780 million. Other interesting situation that's happening with Nine is there's been a bad news story with something like Forge, which was a materials handling company that's actually gone under and fallen out of the ASX 200, which means Nine will actually move in. Now that is a very good situation for their share price. It means that the industry holders out there will have to purchase Nine to hold them in their industry funds. So that will see good bidding pressure for Nine on the upside. They're already at $2.22, and that should see more upside if they do indeed jump into the ASX 200.
All right, and we've seen Telstra's earnings as well. What about the Foxtel part?
Yeah, the Foxtel part, as expected, is continuing to see good growth, and we saw also last week from News Corp and Foxtel and Fox themselves coming out and showing that the cable area particularly is showing good growth. Telstra have backed it up again today. They are seeing good growth across that, particularly in their bundles, and that's been a very, very positive part of what Foxtel is currently offering with that type. Indeed, it was a good result by Telstra. It's a fairly stock standard. Growth was a little bit on the low side, and that was what some analysts are suggesting. Only 4.1% growth over the half, but still a solid return and a dividend that's actually increased by 0.5% to 14.5 cents. So it will mean a bit of a stronger uptake for those shareholders that do hold Telstra.
All right, Evan, thanks so much for that.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Evan Lucas there from IG. We do have to take a quick break here on Mediaweek, but coming up, we meet the new head of international TV for NBC Universal in Australia, Chris Taylor, as Foxtel launched the new Sci-Fi channel. That's coming up next.